whatever you're learning, what goes with that is humility, what we call humility in the old term. That's a very essential part of it. Sometimes we think we have done all this stuff. Even if I say I'll be ashamed to say that I did all this stuff. Actually, that's why I said this. That's what you call the grace. So you are moved. So the problem is most of the time we try to live our life, and of course, living our life, we mess up our lives. While actually life lives itself. You allow life to be, then things go smoothly, right? That's why this grace is basically, you gave an example of, you didn't know where to go, what to do, but then there was that grace, that opened up for you everything, one after the other, I have experienced this all along my life, so many times, The example I always say is, for instance, when I was in Italy, after my studies, I put myself thumbing my way to go around Europe. And I went first time, I managed to go to Paris, and I think in Lyon, one halfway, there was suddenly there was no ride to go to Paris. So I was it was hailstorm, and then only house that was there at that farm area, I went and knocked at the door, and this old lady who opened the door, she looked at me and then ran and brought a towel to me, you see, and then then she invited me, and then had coffee, and then it was late. Her grandchildren were there, and we were singing French songs there. And the next day morning, she packed lunch and put me back on the road so that I could go get a ride. It's beautiful. And when I reached Paris, since I'm a Jesuit, we have a house every place that I go to. But when I went to Rue de Grenelle, the Jesuit house, so they said, "Sorry, Father, we don't know who you are, and you did not write to us that you are coming. Of course, when you are thumbing your way, you cannot write when you are going to come." So I was just said, "What to do now? I didn't have any money. I didn't carry any money, and so I was just waiting outside the gate. Now what to do?" And I always open to grace, what you call prayer or whatever, you just open to the universe, it's sort of, life supports you all the time. Life never goes against you in any time. So I was just standing there, and then who walks out of the house? It's my brother. He was coming from the US on his way back to Sri Lanka, and he was staying at the Jesuit. He's also a Jesuit. He was staying at the Jesuit house. So when he saw me, he was surprised and very. So then he introduced me to the Jesuits there, and I stayed there. And it's like that. So many incidents. And life always opens its arms, and compassion is not only the human beings, but in everything there is compassion all over.